Hey guys, and welcome to a new video tutorial today. As you can see on the left side of my screen, we're going to be doing our custom arrow. It's been taking me about an hour and a half or so to prepare this tutorial. I had some rendering issues and I finally figured out how to fix them. Anyway, we're going to get started. So, these are my two textures. Basically, I just did like a silver shaft with a red arrow top and feather at the bottom. Same thing here, you know, so it's the same idea. If you want to find those, you can just go into the default resource pack, assets, Minecraft. For the normal red arrow texture, it's in textures, and then you go to items, and it's just arrow, that one right there. And then this one here is under entity, which is right here, and then arrow. So I just save them both as red arrow, put them in the correct places, which I'm actually going to do right now. Alright, so let's go back. So I got a new forge, so from now on I'm going to be doing 1.6.4. I did do some updates to the code. You'll be seeing a video about that, or you should have seen a video about that already. There's a few things not working, so I may even just wait on that one and just after I fix those, then give you the updated code for that. But you're gonna need it, aren't you? So maybe I'll go through those in here as well. Anyway, so we go to MCP here, and we're gonna go to source, Minecraft, assets, redstone tutorial, textures. I'm gonna create a new folder called entity. And then just drag that in there, and then drag the item into there. They're both named the same, so I couldn't put them in the same spot. Delete that folder, it's gone. Alrighty, so we got all our textures in place. Now we're just going to open up Eclipse and we're going to get started. So there's not a lot to do here. Well, actually there is a fair bit, to be honest. So we got to change 1.6.4. We're just going to let this load up, and we're going to go over the stuff. So basically, what we got to open up here when creating a custom arrow is we got to, where did I put it? Projectile, there we go. Alright, so what we got to do is we got to create an entity, because it is going to appear on screen when you fire it. So we got to create the entity, and then we got to render the entity, and then we have to tell it to render the entity. So it's not really a lot of complicated code. It's a lot of copying and pasting, because a lot of the stuff there's not a real point in screwing with it. But definitely, it's a thing. It's a thing. This is you may not be able to see the spinning beach ball, but I do. So I'm gonna wait for that to go away. So we're gonna be editing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files today. We're also gonna have to edit the bow for it to shoot our custom arrow. Come on, Eclipse. Of course, Eclipse is going to not work. To reopen it, and hopefully it works this time. So same spot. Bam. Yeah, so this is my first tutorial in a long while. Sorry about that. I've been doing a bunch of recording this weekend, so I should have content for, I don't know how long. I got some gaming stuff. This is actually the first tutorial that I'm recording. Is this one here. So when you get your the 1.6.4 update code, even though it may come out first, it's gonna have our custom arrow in it. Alright, so first we're gonna be going into our redstone main, but I'm also gonna get set up right here. Alright, so we got all of our packages. Bam, to bam. There we go. So we're starting here at the top. We had, simple stuff, things we always do. Got to define our custom arrow. So we're going to define projectiles. So if you have bullets, whatever. I'm not going to show you how to modify I'm not going to show you how to modify the behavior of of the projectile because we're just creating an arrow. I might do a tutorial later on creating a bullet and then we'll create like a gun to go with it. But for now, this is what it's going to be. So, public static item. We're just going to call it red arrow. It's really simple. All right. So, after you've done that, we know all this stuff. We're going to go down to, since I put it underneath armor down there, I'm going to put underneath armor here as well. Settings for projectiles. And we're going to go red arrow is equal to new item red arrow. We're just going to give it an ID of 1023. And then .set unlocalized name. And we're going to set that as well to red arrow. Simple as that. All right, so I'm just going to check my code over here. And we do that. Fantastic. So blah blah blah. Red arrow. Fantastic. All right. So now we're gonna go do our register stuff. Now this is not the typical register stuff that we've done in the past. For other items, this is different. So we're gonna again right underneath armor. So I'm gonna put an extra line there. So we're gonna go register projectiles. So this is we got three lines to write here. So we're gonna start with entity registry. Dot register global entity ID. Now this is going to give us an error at first since we haven't created this class yet, but we will. So we're going to type in entity red arrow, and that's my speakers, and I'm going to turn them off. All right, so entity red arrow, the entity name. So this we are going to type in just red arrow, and then the ID we're going to type in entity registry dot find global unique entity ID. That's it. Don't have to type in anything else there. And I screwed up right here. You're probably yelling, "What the hell? What the hell are you doing there, man?" All right, so that's going to give us an error for now because we haven't created it yet. It's fine. All right, so next line is entity registry dot register mod entity. Now we got a fair few parameters to fill out here. So we're going to start with entity red arrow dot class, which is what I forgot to do with the first one as well. So here, go dot class. Now that's going to give us that error. That's perfect. So the entity name we're going to set again to red arrow. So red arrow, and then so red arrow. The ID, just set that to 0. The mod, this mod, so just type in this. The tracking range, I'm not sure what this does, but I set it to 128, and it seemed to work pretty good. And then the update frequency, we're going to set that to 1, and sends velocity updates, we're going to set that to true. All right, so there we go. That's 2 of the lines done. 1 more to go. Now you just got to do our language registry. But this is a little bit different as well. It's language registry dot instance dot blah 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 dot add string localization, and so we're gonna have 2 strings here. First one's going to be entity and entity dot and then the mod ID of our mod. So for us, or for at least for me, it's Redstone tutorial right here. So you want to put that in there. You can either copy it or just type it in, your choice. I'm going to go down here. There we go. Dot entity dot redstone tutorial dot red arrow dot name, and then what you want the name to be, so red arrow. Alright, that's it for our main class file. So we're going to create this entity next. So we're going to hover over entity red arrow. We're going to click create class. And I'm going to put this in entity projectile. Okay, so redstone underscore tutorial entity projectile. That's going to create a new package for us and all that fantastic stuff. So we're going to save this file here. I should fix part of them now just because, oh, it's not correct. So now we're going to go over to there. Now for this, we're going to go to net.minecraft.entity.projectile. And we're going to open up entity arrow. And we're just going to do copy and paste. Control A, Control C, over to the other file, Control A, Control V. And you should, if you're doing modding, you should know that much by now. Alright, and then so we're going to change our package declaration to the correct one, which is going to be redstone tutorial.entity.projectile. Save that, and then we're going to rename type to entity red arrow, and it's going to extend entity and implements I projectile. This is where you can set your damage. I set mine to 5, which can kill, like a cow or a pig in one hit. So that's what I set mine to. You can, deal with that yourself. So let's see, what else do we have to change here? So that's changed and that's changed. So basically, we want to go through here and we want to search for entity arrow. None. So that's good. No entity arrow is found. Or entity arrow is found. So that's perfect. And I think that's the only thing we need to screw around with in here. So this is basically, this here is called to update the position of the arrow when it's fired, the shake and all this stuff, the animations. And all that fantastic stuff. This cause arrow damage, we're going to change that to cause thrown damage on both of these. And bam, no more errors, and this file is finished. So you should be able to save that. So we just got the one more error in here. Go up here. Let's create this item red arrow file. So let's go create. This is going to go in .item finish. So this is your basic thing. It's just going to extend item instead of item sort or whatever. It's just a normal item, import item, add the constructor. In our constructor, we're going to set our creative tab. So this .set creative tab is going to be equal to redstone main dot red combat tab. Fantastic. Semicolon at the end. And then within our class as well, we're going to do our normal @side only. Side dot client. And then public void register icons. Icon register capital register icon register par1 register icon Control Shift O, Command Shift O to import all this stuff that's not imported. And now we're going to go this dot item icon is equal to par1 register icon dot register icon, and then the normal string stuff, redstone tutorial colon red underscore arrow. Now, someone posted on the forum. I think it was, I'm not sure when it was, but I just saw it yesterday. Said if it's not working, change redstone tutorial to all lowercase. That does not matter. That has nothing to do with it. This here, no matter what you put, I could put this all in uppercase if I want. It's still going to look in a lower. It's all going to make it, when it's looking for it. It's all going to be lowercase anyway. So this does not matter as long as it's spelt correctly. Yeah, I could put every other letter. I could do capitals, and it's not going to matter. It's all going to be. It's all going to be lowercase anyway, so I'm just going to undo that because that's going to drive me nuts. All right, so that's pretty much all we got to do for that file as well. So we're done there. This file has no more errors. Entity has no more errors. So now we're going to go into our client proxy, our good old friend client proxy that we used for our mob. For doing the rendering registry for our mob, we're going to do the same thing for our arrow. So type in rendering registry dot register entity rendering handler, and then we're going to type in the class that's going to be entity red arrow dot class, and the renderer is going to be just new render red arrow. There we go. Do our imports for entity red arrow. Command Shift Control Shift O. So here we go. So now we got that. So if you don't know what this does, basically what we're doing is in the client proxy we're saying, okay, we're going to set up what's going to render our arrow. We're going to say we want you to render entity red arrow, so the red arrow, using the render red arrow class file, which is going to tell what it needs to render. So we're just going to hover, and we're going to create this class in .render. All right, save that. That should have no more errors. So now we're going to move on to the render part. So that means we got to look for net.minecraft.client renderer entity, and open up render arrow. Command A, Command C, Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V, Command A, Command B to copy and paste everything. Change the package as per usual. It's going to rebuild our workspace for us, and we're going to change that, and we're going to go Command Shift Control Shift O to import everything that's not imported and save the file. There we go. So sorry about that. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up our resource location. So we're going to type in redstone tutorial :, and you will have to have texture. So texture/entity/ red_arrow.png is what you want to have in there. Alrighty, it's a pretty simple thing. So this entity arrow, we need to change this to red arrow. It's gonna complain. We got to import entity red arrow. So basically, in here, we want to find entity arrow, and we want to change all of them. Like this one here, we want to change that to red arrow. Find the next. That's fine. This in here has to change to red arrow. Find the next one. This one here has to change to red arrow. And then next. Get rid of our import since we no longer need that. Where's that for the red arrow? No, that's not for the red arrow. Good. So that should be all of them. Yep, so we started at the beginning. So those are all updated now, and I'm pretty sure that file is all complete. I don't think there's anything we need to change. Red arrow, entity red arrow. Yes, we changed all that. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure we're all good. So that should be fantastic. And now, so the arrow is now created. It's completely finished. Now we just gotta apply it to our bow. So it's gonna check if we have any, fire it if we do, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna open up redstone tutorial.weapon and open up weapon redstone bow. Alrighty. So we are going to. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We want blah 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 blah. So entity arrow. So find entity arrow in here. So entity arrow. Start at the top. Find the first one. Where is it? I don't see it. So find. So I start at the very top of the file. We want to get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Find the next one. Again, change this to entity red arrow there. Entity red arrow there. Next. That's fine because that's just this variable that it's calling. That should be pretty much it. Actually, I think that is it. So Command Shift, Control Shift O to import stuff. Entity red arrow. There we go. That's all imported. Everything's working. Everything's fantastic. Now we're not quite done yet though. We need to find item dot arrow. And we need to replace that with redstone main dot red arrow. Alright. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to find the first one. Alright, there. So we're going to replace and find. There we go. So in the end, on those lines, you should have redstone main, if that is the name of your package or of your main class file, dot red arrow dot item ID. So whatever, as long as you got red arrow dot item ID, you should be good. And now we should be able to just run, and we should be good as gold. Should be good as gold. And we'll see right now if that is actually the case. And it better be. Alright, so we're going to open up our world here with our beautiful red and blue trees and our red land. And oh, look at this. This is fantastic. I built this tree as a test to see what a huge tree or a big tree would look like. Alright, so we're going to go into our combat tab. We already got the bow here. So actually we should be able to fire the arrows. Bam. Bam! So there's kind of like a little bit of a glitch there. Okay. Turn my sound on. I'm actually going to change my sound to my headphones so I can hear what the hell is going on. Alrighty. There we go. Fantastic. So we can fire it. And you can see, there it is. It kind of moves around a little bit. I'm not sure why. It's just, it's a little bit glitchy. It's a little bit glitchy. But we can kill pigs, you know. One hit, dead. Sheep, one hit, dead. Bam. That wasn't even a full shot, and it still killed it. So you can do all that stuff. Let's see. Then you hit them. Yep, kills cows in one hit. Boom, bam. So there we go. The bow is working fantastically. So that's a little bit of a glitch there. There we go. So it's a little bit glitchy, I think, but I think that might just be a 1.4 thing, or a 1.6.4 thing. Might be a thing with all arrows, as far as I know. But if you find different, let me know. You can see this is the problems I was talking about. I made the video I posted yesterday or last night or early this morning, having some texture issues. But I will fix those anyway. So that's all of that. Let's just go grab our arrow. You should be able to grab it. So let's just get rid of all this crap. No longer need it. Oh yeah, the spawn egg's having a little bit of an issue. So we should be able to go to our red combat tab, and there's our red arrow. We should be able to grab a stack of 64. Actually, let's spawn our mob. Let's spawn our mob. So there we go. There he is. Okay, there we go. So now I'm gonna go to game mode S. Yeah, stack 64 arrows. He's not moving quite properly, so I'm gonna have to look into that as well. That's a part of a 1.6 update thing. That's kills our mob in 2 hits. You can that kind of gauges how much damage he can deal, or these arrows can deal. Bam! So the damage of the bow is set by the arrow, not by anything else. Now you could set technically, I think you probably could set multiple arrows to be shot by the same bow, and then depending on the arrow, it would be a different. It would have different damage, but bam! It's working very well. So as you can even see here, that the biome is kind of a little bit more elevated than it usually is, which is good. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be posting some more videos over the course of the week, one every day. Is going to be about what I'm going to be doing. Oh, and one thing another thing I noticed, test this in 1.6.2, but our the chunks from our log are like lava textured for some reason. I don't know if that's just because the texture's not working. Possibly. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be up tomorrow, if not today, depending on when this video goes out. And enjoy the rest of your day, and happy modding.